La 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 la. La 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 la.
What's going on? It's your man Oddisee, 1/3 of the Diamond District, representing the DMV, producer MC extraordinaire.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yeah. And you were there from the start. Told me to be aware of the shocks and prepare for the dark. You kept the secrets, you practiced what you were preaching against. Your inner demons were praying to tear apart. You won't admit, but you competed just a little bit. I can tell you be heated over little shit. Telling me to quit trying and get real. I got a little shine, you was like big deal. I was pursuing dreams, steady doing my thing. You wasn't doing the same, you wasn't doing the thing. From a truest to a Brutus to a Judas to who knew that this could happen, but the fraction was brewing the scenes. Should've seen mistaken smoke for a little steam. Turned to fire, you burnt me trying to ruin me. I don't even mention your name in my bars. It's too close to the scars, I'm sure that.
You know who you are.
Just real quick, I mean, your most recent project, just for everybody to know, what was the title of your most recent project, you know what I'm saying?
My most recent project was People Hear What They See.
People Hear What They See?
I like to call it my first solo record, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So you had hella official projects prior to that, producing for a bunch of other people. Is this one like more special? Is it any different doing something for yourself as it has been for doing, you know, records for other people?
Yeah, it was like the first time that I wrote and produced the whole record for myself. My career was one built on collaborations and group efforts. Whether it was Diamond District or producing your record or an instrumental album or whatever, I've never really put out a solo record as an MC, which is why for me it was a first, and it was real personal too. You know what I mean?
What was the reason for the distance, and why not release your first solo record earlier?
It just never came to me. Like, it never really came in the front of my consciousness to say produce a record. I just kind of put tracks in a file, in a folder for over the years, and then when I realized I had 12 songs, I just started thinking about it. You know?
Now, one thing I know, we had a conversation like the day your record first came out. You know, we were talking about various things promotion-wise, and you were saying, yo, you'll never do the same type of record again.
Yeah.
You saying that. Yeah. So is there any particular direction that you've been facing? I mean, you've been touring this record, so it's understandable if you don't really have a clear answer.
Yeah, no.
Is there any direction you have for like the next record? Are you already looking at your next solo record? And
I already started working on my second.
Is there a title for it?
No, not yet. I'm playing around with a couple things, but the record's a lot more darker. And I'm playing around with a couple things, but the record is a lot more darker and probably a bit more mainstream accessible.
Word.
Yeah.
Right. And now you're not a big collaborations person on your own records either, so have you been considering bigger collaborations since your popularity has grown? Considering the next record?
I think as a producer MC, I don't really have to necessarily, I wouldn't say depend on, but consider collaborations as much as a pure MC would. Collaborations for an MC help to break up hearing one voice on a record. But I think as a producer MC, I'm kind of allowed to not have as many features on a solo record because my career is a big feature, basically, you know what I mean? So maybe I have a few more, but I'll probably keep it minimal, you know what I mean?
Now, to me, and to a lot of other people, you're like the epitome of creating your own brand. You know what I'm saying? As far as booking your own show, as far as maintaining your own persona, you know what I'm saying, as well as musically. But speaking of maintaining your own persona, you used to book your own tours via MySpace and Facebook and various social networks and email. And now you're selling out the Jazz Cafe in London. What's that process been like? What's changed from the time that you were booking your own show, aside from popularity? Like, what's changed in you as an artist and a performer now that you're selling out shows?
To be honest, if I really think about what's changed from the time I was booking my own shows till now, I'm not too sure it has anything to do with having a booking agent now. I think having a booking agent is a product of something else, and that something else, I think, is me being a bit more conscious of my overall marketing, of myself as an artist and my music, gearing my message more towards a specific story, taking chances musically to branch out a bit more, really being conscious of expanding my demographic and using the data and the information we get from things that an independent artist use, like Bandcamp and Facebook, and really looking at that and saying, now what is this information telling me, and applying that to my music, I think has allowed me to sell out when I do shows now. You know what I mean? And to get so many shows that I need a booking agent now to kind of help me sort things through. As before, you know, when you want to come up, you can do everything yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Word. So it's kind of like along with like your image growing, it's less time as well associated with like booking your own shows. Definitely.
The reason why I got a booking agent now, and the booking agent that I use, we made a deal where I turned over my contacts to him. I still help assist, but the point is that you and I know it takes 20 emails to secure one show, minimum. So when you're doing 20 cities, 15 to 20 cities, it's 20 emails per city. Now, how am I supposed to do that, shoot a video, work on the art direction for my cover and my album and my music, produce a record, turn in 2-3 remixes to the label, you know what I'm saying, and do a couple interviews and still have time to see my family, eat, and go out for a walk? Like, it's not possible anymore, you know what I mean?
Now, what's interesting is knowing you're just as busy. You were just as busy then, though,
yeah,
as you are now. It's not that you've gotten more busy over the years. Would you know, when you got in reflective moments when you by yourself, do you prefer the Oddisee then or the Oddisee now? You like, you know, as your musical direction goes further, like really happy with where you're going, like, you know?
Man, I totally prefer the Oddisee now. And the reason why is because the Oddisee then was really unhealthy. Like, I had this false perception of work ethic that comes from hip hop, or this quote unquote no days off, always hustling type of mentality, and you start to believe it. So you feel like if you're not doing that, you're doing something wrong. And I found myself making 3 beats a day, 6 days a week, my relationship suffering. I was 245 pounds, I was sleep deprived, but people was constantly commending me on my work ethic. I found myself really unhealthy trying to adhere to this idea of what a hustling artist is supposed to be. And now I made a conscious decision to take things at my own pace. I'm not in a race with anybody else. It's supposed to happen when it happens. Appropriate time to leave my house, to see my friends, to hang out, to do things outside of the studio. And I find that recharges me and makes me more efficient in the studio.
Right. You know what's interesting, man, is like on tour you see that kind of that busy hip hop mentality, but you actually enjoy the places that you go. Like your Instagram is like, if people haven't traveled, they can go to your Instagram and be like, okay, yeah, I've seen that place before. Like, so do you kind of like bring that around to other people that you? I mean, because I know you meet a lot of promoters and various people you tour with. Do they go out with you? Does everybody kind of get involved in like the scene, the city aspect of things?
Definitely. I mean, recently I've been touring with my band, and you know, when we tour with me, you, and whoever else, you kind of ask people and you fill them out when you're on the road with your guys, are saying, all right, what kind of person are you? Do you want to go out and see a museum right now and eat some cuisine from this country? Or are you going to crash all day because you're about to go party at night and meet some bros? Which one are you? And it sucks that you can't be both. You'll burn yourself out. Right. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think I'm surrounding myself more around individuals who are more likely to want to go out during the daytime these days. And the promoters, you know, they're always surprised. And they're like, wow, you gonna eat this? Last person we brought out such and such asked us where the nearest KFC was. Yeah. But that's like my whole thing. Like when we're on tour, we're ambassadors for black culture, hip hop, and America. You know what I'm saying? And that's how anyone who roll with me, you know, like, nah, it's no joke, it's no game when we go on the road.
Right. So even with this larger group of people, it hasn't been.
Oh, a couple people had to get checked on the tour, but we good now. We good. You know who you are.
You know what I mean? But all right, let's start a couple more questions. Traveling, one of the better traveling hip hop artists out right now. Period. Point blank. What is the most important item you have in your bag with you at all times?
My MacBook. Right. I'd have to say. I mean, it's a given, your passport, right. But I would have to say my MacBook, because from it, even if I don't have a telephone, I can find the nearest Wi-Fi place, get online, call a promoter. I can send out a newsletter. I can make sure that the shows are taken care of, transfer money, and all of that stuff is good. I can work on beats. Right. I can send things. like it's my constant source of connection. My MacBook is the only reason I can travel so much, because I make beats on the road, you know what I mean? I handle all my admin on the road. I'm working with the label on the road. Everything that I do, I'm able to do on the road because I got a nice computer. So definitely my MacBook, most important thing. You know what I mean?
That's the last question. I'm gonna ask everybody this question, you know, so until the end of next year, hopefully. So the world's supposed to end December either 19th, 20th, or 21st, based on the Mayan calendar. Right?
Well, all right.
So let's say the world ends and there's a generation after us, and we can only be one thing to let them know who we are. Only one thing. What would you be?
Wow.
I don't think the world's really gonna end, but just in case.
Yeah. The one thing to let them know who we are.
Who you are.
Who I am. This is a tough question because I think too much. It's like I can't leave music because they won't have any devices to play on it because that's two things. I guess I'd leave a photo book.
Photo book.
Yeah.
Including pictures of yourself or including pictures of all the places you've been?
Everything. So they could create, so they could see a perception of what life was pre-apocalypse, you know? Yeah.
All right, once again, let them know who you are, what records out, and what you're doing out here.
What up? It's your man Oddisee. Welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. Hanging out with my good brother, one of my closest friends, Trek Life, at the Acrylick store. Longtime supporters of me, you know what I'm saying? Longtime supporters of them. I'm out here about to do a show. Carry on to the next as we do. Peace.